The tide was restless that night. I had wandered down to the dark shoreline of Ganymede's southern sea to clear my head, watching the faint reflections of Jupiter shimmer across the black waters. The air was thin but breathable thanks to the colony's stabilizers, and the gravity was lighter than Earth's. Every step felt like I was gliding. I wasn't expecting company. The colony was a sparse outpost of miners, researchers, and drifters like me. People didn't usually come to this side of the sea at night, and those who did kept to themselves. But when I heard the distant splash, sharp and heavy, like a boulder dropped into the water, I ran. First I thought it was a ship accident. Then I saw her. A figure flailing in the black water, taller than any human, twice my height at least. She was drowning, thrashing against the tide, her long arms reaching for something, anything. The moons above caught the light against her smooth, pale blue skin. My mind screamed alien. I should have frozen, should have run for help, but instinct overrode fear. I grabbed one of the colony's flotation cables, hurled it into the water, and leapt in after her. The cold struck me like knives, but I forced my way closer. She was panicking, too heavy to stay afloat. "Hold on!" I shouted, though I doubted she understood. Her enormous hand brushed the cable but slipped. I wrapped the line around my waist, swam to her side, and shoved it into her grip. She clutched it with desperate strength, nearly pulling me under, but the cable anchored us both. I activated the auto-reel. Slowly, agonizingly, the mechanism dragged us toward shore. She coughed, choked, and clung tighter. By the time we collapsed on the rocky beach, I was shaking with exhaustion. She lay on her side, chest heaving, water streaming off her long hair like liquid silver. Her eyes, deep violet, almost glowing, fixed on me. She didn't speak at first, just breathed. Her enormous frame sprawled beside me like some fallen statue. Then, in accented but clear standard, she whispered, "You saved me." Her name was Elira, and she was unlike anyone I'd ever met. The towering alien woman was from a species the miners called the Thalorians, but few had ever seen one up close. They were rumored to live beneath Ganymede's seas in vast cities unreachable by humans. To me, she was no rumor. She was real, shivering on the beach, alive because I hadn't hesitated. I took her to my quarters at the outpost. She barely fit inside, ducking under the door, her long legs folded awkwardly. I fetched blankets and emergency rations, though she waved off the food. "Your air heavy," she murmured. "But I will adapt." Over the next hours, she told me pieces of her story. She had surfaced near the human colony out of curiosity, fascinated by our machines. But the thinner water near shore was treacherous for her physiology, and a sudden current had dragged her under. She had panicked, lungs not built for air, and nearly drowned before I found her. "You risked your life for me," she said softly, her voice a melodic hum. "Among my people, that is a bond that cannot be broken." I didn't know what to say. I was just a drifter, a mechanic who had come to Ganymede to escape debts and memories back on Earth. Saving a towering alien woman hadn't been on my list of things to do. But when she smiled, gentle, radiant, I felt something shift inside me. Days passed. Elira recovered quickly, though she still struggled in our atmosphere. She insisted on staying near me, claiming she owed me a life debt. She was endlessly curious, asking about human tools, foods, and stories. In return, she spoke of her world beneath the waves. Colossal crystalline towers, glowing gardens of bioluminescent plants, leviathans tamed as companions. I thought it was a dream until the night her father arrived. The outpost trembled as something vast rose from the sea. Lights blazed across the horizon, not human, not mechanical in any way I recognized. A living ship, half organic, surfaced like a beast from the depths, water cascading from its shell. The alarms blared. Colonists panicked, running to defense posts, shouting about a hostile incursion. But Elira ran to the shore, her voice ringing like a bell. "Father!" The being who emerged dwarfed even her. Towering higher than the colony walls, regal in his bearing, his features marked by centuries of wisdom. He stepped onto the land as though the world bowed beneath him. His eyes glowed like molten stars. This was Vaylor, High Sovereign of the Thalorian Deep. And he looked straight at me. "You are the human," his voice boomed, echoing like thunder though his lips barely moved. "The one who pulled my daughter from death's grasp." The colonists fell silent, awed and terrified. I swallowed hard. I just did what anyone would have done." "Not anyone," Vaylor said. His gaze softened, surprisingly kind for such a massive being. "You are hero." The word felt strange in my ears. Hero. I wasn't used to it. Elira stepped closer, beaming with pride. "Father, he saved me. Without him, the sea would have taken me." Vaylor lowered his massive hand toward me, palm open. "Then my people owe you a debt as deep as the abyss. Speak your desire, and it shall be granted." Froze. The entire colony was watching. The Thalorian sovereign was offering me anything, and I had no idea what to say. In the following days, everything changed. The colonists who had once treated me as a nobody now looked at me with respect, even envy. "The hero of Ganymede," they called me. I didn't feel like one, but the title stuck. More importantly, the presence of Vaylor and Elira forged a fragile alliance between humans and Thalorians. Trade began. Knowledge was shared. Fear turned slowly into wonder. But with recognition came danger. Not everyone wanted peace. A faction within the colony, miners who distrusted aliens, saw the Thalorians as a threat to resources and independence. They whispered that I was a traitor, too close to the giants beneath the sea. Their leader, a bitter man named Cray, confronted me one night. "You should have let her drown," he spat. "Now they'll claim Ganymede. And you'll help them." I tried to reason with him. "They don't want our land. They live below, in places we can't reach." Cray sneered. "Doesn't matter. Once they know we're weak, they'll rise up. And you'll be the one who opened the door." The threat lingered in his eyes. I knew then this fragile peace was at risk, not from the Thalorians but from us. One night sabotage struck. Explosives ripped through the colony's hydropower station, cutting off life support systems. Without power, oxygen levels dropped. Heat bled into the void, and panic spread. The saboteurs had chosen their moment well. Elira found me amidst the chaos. "My father senses betrayal," she said urgently. "He believes humans cannot be trusted. Already he prepares to withdraw his people." I shook my head. "If he leaves now, the colony will collapse. We need their help to repair the station." She gripped my shoulder, her enormous hand warm. "Then you must convince him. Only you can." The journey to Vaylor's ship was harrowing. Smoke filled the colony, alarms wailed, and I could hear shouts of armed miners hunting in the dark. But Elira led me safely to the sea, where the colossal living ship waited. Inside I pleaded with Vaylor. This wasn't them, it wasn't the Thalorians. It was a small group of humans. Don't punish everyone for their fear.